focused on staying on the line, I can't fulfill my assignment. But my God is big enough to handle my fault, my strokes, grubs, my mess ups, because he's already prepared for what I might do. He knows what I'm going to do before I do it, and he already made preparation for me before I get there. What follows darkness is light. That darkness is the indicator that light is getting ready to shine. So there it is in Genesis, when darkness was upon the face of the deep, and God in the spirit form moved upon the face of the waters, and then God said, let there be. Because darkness precedes the light. Are you understanding what I'm saying? But he needs the darkness there so that God can move upon the face of the deep, so that the shift can take place. Listen, look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor that shift take place in the darkness. Oh, y'all didn't hear what I just said. Everybody's not going to see the shift that's happening. They see the chaos, but they don't see the shift. They see all the craziness going on in your life, but they don't understand that underneath the darkness, God is moving in secret. He's moving in quiet. He's moving in the hidden places. He's moving in the cracks and the corners and the crevices. He's moving in places that you cannot see. And when the light comes, they're going to see a new order. But untying. And so the universe then has no choice. First attribute of the secret place. The secret place is a place of revelation. It makes you free because it awakens you and makes you consciously aware that everything that you thought was holding you is an illusion. Okay, can you hear me now? Oh, I think we got it now. I think I mistakenly hit the mute button and y'all weren't able to hear me. Y'all tell me if you can hear me now. Oh, okay. There we go. All right, let's try that again from the top. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Emerge Movement, Empowerment Movement. I'm so glad that you are here for this empowerment session where we have conscious conversations that are designed to assist you in your journey towards spiritual wholeness. I'm your host, Isaac J. Miles, Sr., and I am glad that you decided to join me this morning. Take a moment, if you will, and just tag and share with as many people as you possibly can. Please tag, share, and follow. If you're on our Emerge page, if you're watching on my personal YouTube, I'm sorry, not YouTube, but Facebook page, as well as on YouTube, the Emerge YouTube channel, please make sure that you hit the follow button so that you won't ever miss a live broadcast, a live conversation that we are having here. And invite your friends and families and others to come over. Let's try and grow and expand the platform so that others can partake in these conscious conversations that we're having on this side. As always, I want you to make sure that you participate in the conversation. It's not just about me standing here or sitting here rather lecturing you, but it's about an exchange between us as an audience and a community, and we are going to discuss things that are going to be helpful, I think, to everyone that's tuned in. Everyone that is tuned in. Okay, so you can see by the topic that's displayed in the description that today we're going to begin a conversation about the mythology of Egypt, of evil. Egypt. The mythology of evil and overcoming victim consciousness. The mythology of evil and overcoming victim consciousness. Now, these two are inextricably tied together. And so we're going to get into a very deep and detailed conversation about it. We probably won't finish it all today, but we're going to try and get as far into it and as deep into it as we can. And I'm going to allow the ebb and flow of the conversation to kind of dictate how far we get and how, far much we are able to cover. Because I really want us to have a clear, comfortable, comprehensive, and robust conversation between us. And so I am expecting those of you who are watching to jump into the comments and give me your thoughts, your inputs, your ideas, your concepts. Whether you agree or disagree, it doesn't even matter. Okay, I want to hear what you think as well as we have this conversation together. I think it's an important one. It's a pertinent one to have. All right. So before we jump in, I want to take another moment and acknowledge someone that I love, admire, and who has mentored me, even though he doesn't know me on a personal level, having never met him face to face, but only have exchanged some messages back and forth with him and conversed in that manner. We've never been in the same physical space with each other, and that is, of course, Bishop Carlton Pearson. I really honor, admire, and honor, admire, and respect him, and I admonish you as he is in this period of transition, that we continuously send out love and light and good thoughts and feelings toward him, that he is in the process of letting go. We are in the process of letting go as well, and allowing him to transition smoothly and easily into the next iteration of his existence as a eternal being. So I just, I have to acknowledge him in a time where so many others are not acknowledging the influence and the impact of this great man's life, his influence and what he has done. I just have to
acknowledge him once again and keep every one of you in this community mindful of his great contribution, and to just continue to send out loving thoughts of light and love toward he as well as his entire family. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate each and every one of you. I had the privilege of sitting in and listening to another, I guess you could call it podcast or a platform. Bishop Yvette Flunder had hosted an event with a number of other people there that were just there to honor the memory and the accomplishments and the great things that Bishop Pearson has been able to do. And it was just such a pleasure to be a part of that community, to sit in and listen to them as they reminisced over the many events and instances and encounters that they had with each other, the relationships they had, and the impact that this great man has had on so many people, countless people that he will never probably ever know in this form, but that he will eventually know completely, know even as we are known, okay? And we'll see, I hope that he is reminded in these final moments of his life of just how much of an impact he has had and how many people love him. It is often easy in the midst of what are difficult and challenging times to have our focus and attention pulled to those who we think should be there, could be there, but are not. But it's more important to recognize who is there. Everybody's not a hater. There are some people that love. There are millions of people that love Bishop Pearson and that wish him well and that have benefited from his life. All right. I just wanted to say that here at the very top before I jump into our conversation today. All right. I see you looking at the comments right now. Good morning. Good morning. Someone says it sounds funny with an echo. That might be on your end. Is anybody else hearing an echo? Anybody else hearing an echo as I'm speaking? Anybody else seeing that? Y'all put it in the comments real quick. Everybody's hearing an echo. That's weird. Let me see here for a second. Okay, is that better? Are you still hearing the echo? Is it better? Does it sound better? I hope that it is. If not, then I'm going to have to ask you to just kind of deal with it, tolerate it for right now. It sounds a little muffled and it's echoing. Is it still sounding that way now to you? Does it still sound muffled? Okay. What about, goodness. All right, what about now? I don't understand why we're having these kind of issues this morning. Okay, is it clearer now? Can you guys hear me better now? We're going to get it straight. Is it clearer? Some are saying better, some are not saying anything. I'm trying to make as many adjustments as I can. better now? I hope so. If not, everybody's going to have to kind of endure, because I will try and make sure I fix it before our next empowerment session. I'm not exactly sure what's causing it. There might be some interference going on with the internet, so the transmission is a little bit faulty, or I'm not sure. Can you understand what I'm saying now? Everybody hear me clearly? Can you see me clearly? Do you see me moving around? Can you see me picking up this cup, getting ready to drink some coffee, or is it freezing? Yes, no? Okay. I see we can see you clearly, can hear me clearly. Okay. Let's just go. Okay. All right, let's go. Great. Terrific. Good to see all of you. Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about the mythology of evil and overcoming the victim consciousness. The mythology of evil and overcoming victim consciousness. These two things are inextricably tied to each other, and it is important that we really grasp a good practical understanding of things. Now, for those of you who are uninitiated, you know that I'm not here to hype, who are uninitiated rather, you might find it different from other platforms. Those who are initiated know that I'm not here to hype you and, try and run game or try and excite you and get you to jump and holler and scream and all the other kind of filled with emotions. I'm trying to teach you. I want to empower you. I want to give you tools that are designed to help you to evolve and grow and develop and to expand in your understanding, your perception, your conscious, your perspective. That's what this platform is all about. I'm helping those of you who are in transition, who understand that there is a being, a force, an energy, a source, God, that is bigger and is intrinsic within our being, but that you need your spirit fed, and you're not receiving that from traditional church. You're not receiving that from traditional religion. You have come to the place of understanding that there is so much more to God than what you've been exposed to by traditional religion or traditional Christianity, fundamentalism, or any of the other avenues that are out there. I'm here to offer you the tools to begin to make those discoveries and to gain understanding, and practical tools to be able to function in this three-dimensional existence in a way that is abundant, that supports your highest vision and version of your own life. So I want to make it clear, I am not anti anyone or anything. Let me say that again. I am not anti anyone or anything outside of ignorance. I am anti-ignorance. I am not anti any religion. I am not anti any particular nationality, color, creed, or race. I am anti-ignorance. Okay? And I am for people. I'm for everyone. I believe that we are designed as the vehicle through which the all of everything that some call God, Allah, whatever terminology you want to use, is able to express and experience itself in three-dimensional form. I believe that we are the expression and the essence of God, which is love. And therefore, I love everyone, not based upon conditions, not based upon whether or not you agree with me, disagree with me, you're a part of my club, you're not a part of my club, you're a part of my community, or a part of my culture. It doesn't matter. I am for everyone. Okay? I believe that is the position, the mindset of God. That God is for all of us, not against any of us. That everything is for us and nothing is against us. So whatever you hear as we are having these conscious conversations on this platform, specifically this conversation that we are beginning today, please understand that I am coming from the position of light, love, knowledge, wisdom, facts and history, and not hate, dismissiveness, or being anti any particular religion. You will often hear me use Christianity as a basis for critique, only because Christianity is the religion that I am most familiar with. I pride myself on having done quite a bit of research and study on all of the global religions, major global religions that exist. But of course, because I was brought up and raised for a number of years, all of my life, in Christianity, then I know the most. I am most familiar with Christianity, and even more so specifically, Black Christianity in all its forms. So I will use it many times in examples, because I am most familiar with it. But I am not anti-Christianity, and I don't favor Christianity above Islam or above Buddhism or above Judaism or any of the other religions. Okay? I'm dealing specifically in facts. Finally, whatever we discuss and cover during this series of conversations along this line is factually based, historically based, but you don't have to take my word for it. You are an independent, autonomous, thinking, rational being that can discern and then decide for yourself what it is that you want to accept or reject. Your consciousness within you, that spirit, energy, force, power, whatever term you want to use in you, is there accusing and excusing, accepting and rejecting, embracing and then pushing away. You get to make those determinations within yourself. I am here to offer you a conversation from a perspective, and then from that point, what you choose to do with it is wonderful. Okay? So, with that, I want to begin by kind of defining the terminology victim consciousness. Now, those of you who've been watching me for a period of time, you've heard me use this terminology before. We've even had whole conversations geared around this one particular topic. But for the uninitiated, I want to just kind of repeat some of what I've already said before on this particular subject and redefine what victim consciousness is. Victim consciousness is the perception or the belief that something or someone outside of myself is in control of my destiny. Victim consciousness is the belief or the perception that something or someone outside of myself is in control of my destiny. that somehow life is happening to me, and I am the victim or at the mercy of fate. It is the idea that things around me inevitably are happening that I have zero control over, and things are being done to me by it. Things are being done to me by it, and it can be God, the devil, Satan, Lucifer, demons, angels, culture, environment, mom, DNA, spells, hanks, hoodoo, voodoo, witchcraft, something outside of me, generational curses, all of these things, something outside of me is now dictating the moves and the mood and the shape of my life. And I am left fighting my way through with the help of God and the power of the Holy Ghost to overcome all of these obstacles that are lined up against me. That I have an adversary, I have a demon, a devil, a curse, a generational curse, a hex, a spell, a culture, an environment, a government, or some other societal obstacle that has been set up against me, and I am at war with it my entire life, trying to win, to overcome, to battle, to destroy it, and finally reach a place where I transition out of this life, because I'll never actually fully be victorious in this life. I'll always be fighting, always be battling, always be in conflict, always be running, fighting, struggling, and going through toils and snares and temptations, stuck in the muck and the mire. And I will only escape when I make my transition out of this three-dimensional form in that great getting up morning, fare ye well, where I'll get to go to a place where the streets are paved with gold, and it'll always be Sunday, always hello, and never goodbye, where I will live forevermore, eat at the welcome table, feast on milk and honey, one of these days. Victims often live in a mindset that people and life in general is designed and set up against them. That there is something that's after me, that the devil's on my track trying hard to turn me back, sometimes up, sometimes down, sometimes level to the ground. But long as I got King Jesus, y'all forgive me, then everything's gonna be all right. I'm gonna win. And as a matter of fact, the battle is not even mine. It's the Lord's. Jesus gonna fight my battle. Angel gonna fight my, Gabriel gonna fight. Well, Michael's gonna fight my battle. Jesus and all of them, they gonna fight. And all I got to do is sit back here like the damsel in distress under the blood, and God through Jesus and all of them, they gonna fight for me and win for me. And any victories I experience are not mine, it's Jesus's. And any failures that I experience, well, that's not Jesus, but it's not mine either. That's the devil. That's a devil. That's a demon. That's a spirit. That's witchcraft. That's black magic. That's something else outside of me. And I am the poor victim here in the middle, both damsel in distress, victimized by fate and circumstances and chance and life coming at me, at the mercy of whether God wants to fight for me or allow the devil to have victory over me. And if God allows the devil to have victory over me, it's because God is trying to teach me something, so he uses the devil to teach me, and circumstances and situations and tests and trials and heartache and pain to teach me, so I'll be more obedient. I know that what I'm saying to you resonates, because there are probably the majority of you on here who grew up in church. You have been indoctrinated. You have been infused with that particular mindset. That is how you go through life. Okay? The finger is always pointed outward rather than inward, and consequently, all of your stories that you tell yourself in your mind become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Let me say that again. All of the stories, all of the narratives that you say to yourself in your mind become a self-fulfilling prophecy. You see, if we follow just what Scripture says, what the Bible says, whether that Scripture is from the Bible or from the Quran and the Bhagavad Gita and the Torah, I'm trying to think of all of the texts that say that, and the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead, then all of these agree that we are the embodiment of God. We are God in three-dimensional form, created in the image and the likeness of God. Okay? That we have the baptism of the Holy Ghost. That is, that the Spirit of God, the Spirit of God, the Spirit, the essence, the being, the isness of God lives inside of me. And yet, we are told in the same breath, listen to how devious and malicious religion can be. Not just Christianity, all of them. In the same breath, you are told, yes, you are the embodiment of God, a divine being that has the Holy Ghost, the holy presence, the essence of God in you. But you are still hunted and tried and tested and under siege from all of these outside forces that are after you. And your only hope is to run to the rock that is higher than you, run to God, run to Jesus, who will run to God, because you can't go directly to God, because God don't really want to deal with you. You have to go through Jesus to get to God, and then Jesus and you go to God, and then God will fight for you. But that same God you are told, lives inside you. Now, you are too unholy, too wretched, too undone to approach God on your own. Okay? But not too wretched or too unholy to be the temple of God living inside you. It doesn't make sense. It simply doesn't make sense. Okay? But that is the way that the victim consciousness is reinforced. Why do I speak of it in terms of consciousness? Because it has to do with what you have accepted as your belief, your idea and concept about life and about yourself. Whatever you embrace in your conscious awareness, whatever you are cognizant of as your particular belief, value, or truth, becomes becomes your reality. And so the victim consciousness, the idea that I am always constantly under assault or need the protection of some external thing, something outside of myself is dictating my life and determining my destiny, then that mindset becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy, bringing you into a lived experience that is a reflection of that mindset. That, ladies and gentlemen, is called faith. I know that is not the faith that you are used to hearing about, but it is. Let's take a moment and let's dissect that. We are told from Hebrews chapter 1, verse 1, that here is a definition of faith. In fact, it is not a definition of faith. It is a definition of what faith does. But by seeing what faith does and how faith works, we get a clear idea of what faith is. Hebrews chapter 1, verse 1. Here's what it says. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. That's it. Now, for years, within the Christian church especially, we have been told that is the definition of faith. It is not. Listen carefully to what it says. It is more a definition of what faith does. It defines the parameters of the operation for faith. Faith is first the substance. I think the Greek word is hypostasis. The substance, it literally means it is the foundation or the evidence, not evidence, rather the essence or the power or the thing that empowers or strengthens or drives. Faith is the substance, the essence, the power, the foundation, the thing that fuels and drives. Okay? Faith is the thing that fuels and drives, that powers or is the foundation of things hoped for. Of things hoped for. That means faith then is the fuel or the essence or the power or the foundation of the thing that I am expecting. Whatever I hope for, I have an expectation of. So faith's job, faith's work, faith's first operation is to be the foundation, the support, the essence, the power, the substance, the fuel that drives, that supports the thing that I am expecting, my expectations. Now, where do my expectations come? Well, my expectations are formed by what I have accepted as true. That's where my expectations are. That come from, rather. They have their roots, they are genesis. They come from what I have accepted to be true. I believe, I accept to be true X, Y, Z. Therefore, I have faith that supports and drives my expectation, the substance or things hoped for. It is the evidence, the evidence literally means to provide infallible proof, the title deed to, responsible for providing me the title deed or evidence that my expectation, the thing that I've hoped for, even though I cannot see it, it exists. So the text here is literally saying, describing the function and the operation of faith. Faith operates to support and fuel my expectations and provide me with constant evidence, clues, indications, proof that what I am expecting really does exist. Okay? Everybody with me so far? Right? That's how faith operates. But then, if that's how faith operates, it is a clear indicator to what faith is. If faith's function is to provide a support, substance, essence, power, or fuel for the things that I have an expectation of, and then to give me infallible proof, evidence, indicators that what I am expecting, even though I cannot see it, really does exist, then faith, here's a good definition for it. Write it down if you need to, or if you'd like to. Faith, then, is the vehicle or mechanism or the tool. Faith is the vehicle, the mechanism, or the tool by which my expectations are brought to reality. Faith is the vehicle, the mechanism, or the tool by which my expectations are brought to three-dimensional form or reality. Now, in understanding that that is what faith is, and that is how faith operates, then it is clear also what faith is not. Faith is not partial. It's impersonal. It's a tool, like a hammer, like a screwdriver. A screwdriver or a hammer or a buzzsaw is neither for you or against you. It doesn't favor you or dislike you. It's simply a tool. And how that tool is applied or used determines the outcome and the usefulness of the tool. Did you hear what I just said? So then, faith is neither for you or against you. It is impersonal. Are you understanding? It's impartial. It is not for me or against me. It is simply set in the universe and within me as the tool to bring my expectations into reality. Whatever those expectations are, faith has one job. Its job is to present and produce a three-dimensional form or reality of what I am expecting. And my expectation is informed by what I believe. Man, I hope you're getting this. My expectations are formed by what I believe. And faith has one job. One. It is the vehicle, it is the tool, it's the mechanism by which that which I expect but cannot see physically is brought to reality into form that I'm able to see, touch, taste, hear, smell, experience. That is faith's only operation. That's its job. That's what it does. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, 366 days on leap year. Faith is constantly at work. Whether you are being intentional and focused with it or not, the tool is constantly at work. It is constantly working, transmuting energy into form, transmuting thought into three-dimensional reality, giving you your expectations. When we mention about the universe, we are talking about all of the laws that govern the operation and the function of this three-dimensional existence. And the universe uses faith as the vehicle of the perpetual transmutation of energy into form. And those of you who are familiar know that there is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Faith is the vehicle through which that law operates to bring every expectation into form. So the question is never, do you have faith? By virtue of your existence, you have faith. The question is, where is your faith? What do you have faith in? What do you have faith in? And this is how powerful a divine being you are. Because whatever you have faith in, faith will produce in your reality. You get to determine what comes out on the other side of the mechanism. You get to determine what your lived reality is going to consist of, because you are the divine being using the impartial tool of faith to create a reality for yourself. Here is the first clue that your victimization, your victimhood, your victim consciousness is an illusion. It is a lie that has been embedded within you by culture, religion, environment, experiences, sometimes trauma, all of them trying to convince you of one thing or another, because whoever, whatever shapes your belief then fuels or informs your faith, which then fuels or brings to manifestation those expectations. Your belief, your perception, your truths are what inform your expectations. And those expectations are supported by the vehicle of faith to bring into manifestation a representation of that which you have accepted as your truth. Are y'all following me so far? A little bit, Diana. Diana asked the question, so faith works works like the law of attraction, a little bit like the law of attraction. It is certainly different, okay, but a little bit. And I don't want to dive into the differences because then it'll take me away from the point of what we're talking about. But a little bit. You're kind of like along the right road, okay? So, if you then have been indoctrinated, inundated, saturated with a victim consciousness, always believing that life is happening to you, that some external thing, whether it is God, the devil, Lucifer, Satan, roots, good luck, bad luck, whatever, is in control of your life and destiny, then you are always living at the mercy of that belief. And here is a principle that most of you who grew up in church have heard spoken many times before from the Bible. As a man thinketh, so is he. That what you accept as your truth, what you accept to be your truth, your belief rooted into your conscious mind as true, will ultimately determine what your lived experience is going to be. You have what you believe. I know that the saying says you have what you say, but that is a very simplified version of the real process that's taking place, because you are saying what you have thought and you are thinking what you have believed. So it is your thoughts that inform your words that then informs your action. That's the process of creation. And you have the universe's responsibility is to give you a three-dimensional representation of what you have accepted as true in your thoughts and empowered it by your words and your actions. Then the universe has no choice, using the vehicle or the mechanism of faith, but to give you a physical representation of what you have believed to be truth. Now let's borrow another Bible principle that further supports this truth. The scriptures say in Romans that faith cometh, the word cometh there literally means it activates or puts into use, is put into use, put into service by hearing. The word hearing there in the Greek comes from the word ekion, from which we get the word echo. It is written in the aorist tense, which means that it is repetitive. It simply says, faith then is instructed, activated, and put into use and informed by what we consistently hear. Why? Because what we consistently hear begins to shape our beliefs. Why do you believe that the devil's on your track trying to turn you back? Why do you believe that demons, devils, witches, warlocks are out to get you and working against you and trying to kill you and trying to mess up your life? Why do you believe that fate and life are just happening to you, that the devil is busy? Why do you believe that somebody's put a root on me, worked a spell on me, cast some kind of incantation, working witchcraft on me, and it has more control over my life than me. It has stripped me of my power, my ability, my control, my own divinity, and now is able to impose its will upon me. Whether that's God, the devil, witchcraft, demons, spirits, angels, whatever, how, whenever you are, turn to those things within consciousness. How did you arrive to the place to believe that all of these external entities have more authority over your life than you do? You go from being in control of your life to now being a victim, a damsel in distress, someone who needs rescuing, someone who needs saving. Now you're in the position where you can't help yourself. And so you should just be thankful and grateful for the grace and the mercy of God. And you should be angry and fearful and run to the apron of that same God to protect you from this adversary, this other creature called devil, demons, witchcraft, or just life, and fight your battles. The same religion, the same church, the same preacher that tells you, behold, the Bible said God is giving you power. Let me stop being silly. Power, not power, power. God is giving you power to tread over scorpions of serpents and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Turns right around and says to you, but you can't fight this battle. It's not yours, it's the Lord's. Put on the whole armor, helmet, sword, shield, all of it. But I don't want you to fight. Step out the ring, out the arena. Step back, be silent, be still. And let the Lord fight your battle. It is not only victim consciousness, it is confused victim consciousness. So you are this poor, miserable, climbing up the rough side of the mountain, just trying to make heaven my home through the muck and the mire individual who serves a great big God who's able to do anything, but he don't always do it. Sometimes he will, sometimes he won't. It really depends on you, whether you good, whether you follow the rules, and you appease him, and he kind of feel like it. And if you don't feel like it, then you don't. And if you don't, then it's for your good. You got cancer, and it's for your own good. You got abused and beaten, but it was for your good. Same people. They tell you all, but you got all of this power, but you're helpless. You are helplessly at the mercy of the world and the fate around you, and you can't defend yourself. And here you are now, confused, but because the helplessness is preached more than the help, then you lean more toward the helplessness, and you just believe that everything is against you. everybody's against you. That there are demons and devils and witches and warlocks and spirits and enemies that are out there after you, always trying to trip you up. You are in a constant war, a battle. You are trying to navigate this maze called life, and all around every corner there's a booby trap waiting for you, and you just got to be careful. Use the discern in the spirits so that you can make sure that you don't fall into the tricks and the traps and the wickedness of the devil, because he out to get you, seeking whom he may devour. And if you get caught up, now just remember that's your fault that you got caught up. But remember also that, it's for your good, because God allowed it and he wanted you, to get caught up. But at the same time, if he happens to come back while you're caught up, then you're going to hell, because you got to be punished for getting caught up in the thing that God said he wanted you to get caught up in, because it was for your good. It was good for you that you were afflicted. Anyway, you get it, right? No, you don't get it. You've been getting it. Are you understanding what I'm saying? In fact, you are creating a reality for yourself of perpetual hurt, pain, struggle, trial, tribulation, adversarial encounters with demons, devils, spirits, hobgoblins, and everything, witches and warlocks, you are creating this reality for yourself, and you are living through a self-imposed hell because you have been taught to believe that's what the life of a Christian, saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, fire baptized believer is. That you are in the army of the Lord, holding up the bloodstained banner, fighting, toiling, struggling down here, out in the sunshine, out in the rain. But as long as I know I got a seat in the kingdom, that's all right. Come on. And so that is your lived experience. Ladies and gentlemen, because you are a divine, three-dimensional representation of the all of everything in the earth, you are creating in every moment the next moment of your lived experience in the earth, using and empowering the vehicle called faith to create a reality that you will experience. And because you simply believe these things to be true, you then are creating that reality for yourself. I have people who I've talked to, and I know personally, I used to be one of them, that see demons and devils and spirits moving around in form all throughout the earth. I know that they see them. I know that they experience them. I know they've heard them talk to them and tell them X, Y, Z, and this, that, and the other. They've seen people possessed by spirits. I know that that is absolutely true because I've seen it and experienced it for myself. I have. Those of you who've known me for long periods of time know that I have. Okay? Seen it for myself. That's absolutely a real experience. And I've seen those spirits and demons moving around, moving from person to person, jumping from this place to that one, operating and functioning above, below, in the earth. I've seen it. So have some of you watching me right now. So then, Miles, you're saying, how can you be saying that it's mythology? How can you say to me, how can you formulate the idea in your mouth? I hear you saying now these things aren't real. I apologize. They are real, but they are real to you. Just as they were real to me. And I saw them, felt them, experienced them, communicated with them, cast them out, fought with them, wrestled with them, because I created them. And so did you. So are you. I created them because it was what I had heard, echoed again and again and again in my own thoughts that informed my beliefs. I had been raised, as many of you, my entire life to believe in things that go bump in the night. Ghosts, goblins, witches, demons, devils, Lucifer, Satan, devil, spirit, entities operating in the shadows around me. I had been to collective gatherings where there were a number of people who all believed the same thing. And so we saw, watched, and experienced people being demon-possessed, twisting, turning, gyrating, contorting themselves, screaming, voices changing. Because think about this for a moment. If I, as an individual, have the ability to create this experience for myself, imagine the conglomeration and the collective power or energy available or spirit available when all of us come together collectively, a group of us, 10, 20, 1,000, 2,000, who all collectively agree and believe that this is real. Imagine the power that is now put into the mechanism of faith to bring us a visible representation of what we believe. And so we collectively experience a three-dimensional manifestation, a representation of our collective conscious thought. Demons, devils, spirits, witches, warlocks, ghosts, goblins, and other things that are going bump in the night, now manifesting right in front of us, and nobody could say, see, you couldn't say that this isn't happening. You see it with your own eyes. It is the power of the collective consciousness to create a mass experience that all of us have together because we all collectively believe the same thing. And faith has no other choice but to be the essence or the fuel of our expectation, the substance of the thing we hope for, and provide us the evidence of the thing we cannot see. It has no choice. It has no choice. Are you hearing what I'm saying? It is, in some circles, scientific and psychological circles, called the power of suggestion, where you introduce an idea. When you introduce that idea into the collective consciousness of the masses, they create a reality built around that idea. And everything that follows becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy to support the idea that was initiated in the collective consciousness. Real demons, devils, spirits, hanks, witches, warlocks, evil manifestations walking here and there, little creatures, dark entities, shadows, voices, speaking, bumping, moving things around. You can't tell me, Miles, that didn't happen. I saw it. You did. It did happen. What I'm telling you is, you're the source of it happening. I no longer ever see demons or devils, spirits. I don't. I used to see them all the time. I don't see them at all. Now, does that mean that they just somehow disappeared off the earth? Well, in a sense, they did. They disappeared because I stopped believing in them. The moment I stopped believing in them is the moment that they disappeared. I no longer had any encounters with them. Are you hearing what I'm saying? The moment I stopped believing in them, the moment I stopped expecting them, suspecting them, is the moment that they ceased to appear. And everything got better. The moment I unlocked my own conscious mind from the place of victimology, of thinking that some outside exterior entity, form, or force has more authority, power, and control over my life than I do, that life and fate are happening to me, is the moment that everything shifted and changed, and I began to experience a level of freedom and liberty and peace that is beyond understanding. How is it that we can believe that you'll have whatsoever you say only applies to money, cars, home, and land, spouses, happiness, peace, and joy? That as a man thinketh, so is he, and that only applies to all of the things that we classify as good. If those two principles are true, if those two principles are factual, then they function on both sides of the spectrum. So if I think it, I believe it, I speak it, I act upon it, it is my truth, then it's going to be my reality. It is my reality. I don't know what happened right there. Kind of blinked and went out. Does everybody see and hear me? I guess that's a warning that I'm over time. Okay? Okay, good. I just saw it pop up in the comments. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So faith is the vehicle. Faith is the vehicle. It is the mechanism, the tool by which the law of perpetual transmutation of energy works, by which that which is invisible is brought into three-dimensional reality. It is the vehicle or the tool by which we bring into manifestation what we have an expectation for. And faith's function and its operation is impartial and impersonal. It simply follows the orders you give it. And faith is informed by what you have accepted as your truth. What are your beliefs? What are your expectations? You It just blinked out again. I don't know what's going on. You've been taught all your life to believe in Lucifer, Satan, and the devil. I call it LSD. That's the acronym. Lucifer, Satan, and the devil. It's no coincidence that LSD is also the acronym for a hallucinogenic drug that manifests visual, mental, psychological, and auditory hallucinations. And anyone who's ever experienced a hallucination knows that those hallucinations are the most convincing thing on the planet, because you feel and experience every bit of it. You've been taught all your life that there are demons and devils and spirits that are out to get you. You've been taught all your life that you are sometime up, sometime down, climbing up the rough side of the mountain, struggling, striving, scraping, just trying to make heaven your home because you're just a poor, pitiful pilgrim passing through this barren land. You've been taught all your life that even though God is for you, he's not completely for you. He's just kind of for you because of the blood of Jesus that covers over you. And that's what makes God able to stomach you and stand you and accept you, and that you could get whatever you want from God as long as you go through Jesus. But at the same time, you have this adversary called the devil, demon, Satan, Lucifer, Abaddon, Apollyon, that is after you and that's fighting you, whose job it is to deceive you and to try and pull you down into the eternal torture chamber called hell along with him. And because that is what informs your belief, that fuels your faith and produces the reality that you are living in. A chaotic, crazy, up and down, twisted, turning, challenging, suffering, manic existence. And I'm here to give you the tools to free yourself. I'm here through this conversation and the upcoming parts of this conversation that we're going to have in future empowerment sessions, the ones following this one, to give you the tools to be able to unlock the gates and free yourself from the self-imposed prison that you built, you created, because of your acceptance of certain things as true. I'm here to deconstruct the mythology surrounding evil, surrounding Lucifer, Satan, the devil, Apollyon, Abaddon, demons, devils, witches, warlocks, ghouls, good luck, bad luck, spells, incantations, divination, psychics, clairvoyance, evil angels, fallen angels that are out to get you. All of these things coming against you. And to give the power back to you to curate and create the highest and best version of your life that you desire. So we're going to go take our time and go through it and deconstruct it. I wanted to spend this morning really talking about victim consciousness and faith and these mechanisms, how they operate, so that you will be able to better digest what we're going to get into a little bit later. We're going to talk about the origins and the history of what where these mythologies have come from as far as Lucifer, Satan, and the devil. And contrary to popular belief, they're not all the same person. Even historically, mythologically, they're not all the same person. Lucifer is not the same as Satan, Satan not the same as the devil, and vice versa, and so on. And I'm going to use the Bible to do it. I'm going to use other information as well, but I'm going to primarily try and use the Bible so that those of you, because I understand that my audience is made up of mostly people who have grown up in the Christian faith. And so, I am not attacking Christianity. I am just giving you food for thought, information, insight, light, that you can use as a tool. And you can decide to do with it whatever you choose to do. You can throw it away and say, I don't want no parts of this. This is heretical. This is demonic. This is of the devil. No, God, I need to protect my spirit. Okay, that's fine. I'm not for you. Wrong place. Or you can listen and consider and ponder and research for yourself and then decide what works for you. What's going on? I don't understand what is going on with this, but it keeps happening. So I'm going to take that as a sign to get off. But we're going to end right here in the conversation. I'm already like 24, almost 25 minutes over time. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. I want to invite those of you who are still here and who remain to please be financially supportive of the platform. Maybe I need to go and purchase some new equipment so that I don't keep having these kinds of problems and everything going on. But you can do so by using the screen, the information on your screen right now. Use our Cashapp or our Zelle and give. Certainly, if you are a participant, someone who enjoys this particular platform, then I encourage you to support it with your gifts, whatever amount that is. I appreciate those of you who have partnered with this particular work and you are consistently sending your tithe. I appreciate each and every single one of you for doing so. And no, tithing is not a commandment, but it is a means of giving. It doesn't have to be tithe. It can be an offering or whatever you decide to give. Or you don't have to give anything at all. But I appreciate those of you who do. Please take advantage of it right now. Do it now while you're thinking about it, because you know how busy you get throughout the day, and then you'll forget all about it until next week. So go ahead and pick up your phone right now, open your banking app, and go ahead and send your gift right now, whatever that is, whether it's Zelle or you're using Cashapp or anything else. Give and support. And I appreciate each and every single one of you for doing so. As always, if you have any questions, you can always feel free to email me at the address that you see on the screen. I will answer your email fully, in detail, and completely. Give you access to notes and other information like that, if that's what you so desire. So, thank you again for tuning in, and I'll see you again on next week. Everybody have an absolutely splendiferous day. Bye-bye.